Anyway, hello and welcome to Heather and Hops. My name is Kat and I am a knitter living in Hertfordshire in the United Kingdom. Am I in focus? Yeah. This is my little space on the internet where I share my knitting journey and connect with other knitters, makers, creators. Audrey has found a tiny bit of tinfoil and is having an absolute blast. Say hi. So this is Audrey, who often shares the podcast with me. She is probably more of a feature than I am, aren't you? Just out of shot, huh? But this seems to be her favourite. I don't even think I can get her in a shot. But anyway, so just for people that have been watching for a while, you might know that I was fostering some kittens and a cat mum. They have been rehomed. It was really hard to see them go, but there you go. But I am really pleased that they've gone to loving, caring homes. Mama cat went to a slightly older woman living on her own who needed some company, so she'll get the nurture that she needs to recover from quite significant trauma. And the two kittens, hey, have gone to a family. So there is a mum, dad and a little boy, and they both seem very content. I have had kitten updates. So yeah, if you're a new viewer, welcome. Audrey is my only cat now. I did have 4 cats for a brief period in time. And do you want to go outside? Because you can. Strange. Anyway. And here we go. So that's just an update that I wanted to share with people, with you, that has happened. Today I'm drinking from a mug that was bought for me, which is really cute. And it says, proud to be a knitter, which I kind of am, which is quite cool. And I'm drinking a chai, which I've made myself. It is a blend of a ground black tea and then some chai spices that Alex blended up ages ago now, like ages. But it's really lovely. And I am going to remember to drink it today, she says. Yeah, so what I might do is insert some footage of me doing the steek. Yes, I completed my first steek, and if you are like me and fairly new to knitting, steeking is where you add extra stitches into your project and then cut your project open. That sounds quite terrifying, but actually, having completed it now, it's nothing to be scared about, especially if you've picked the right yarn. When it comes to yarn, I don't feel like I know everything, so I'm just giving a brief overview. Don't take my words as... But you basically, a non-superwash, it's quite sticky, rustic wool will do the trick. And what that means is it allows you to knit in the round where otherwise you might have to knit back and forth. So say for an armhole or the bottom of a garment, depending on the construction, it's quite a handy tool to have in your armoury. Yeah. So let's see if this works. Clearly we only have one shot, one opportunity, as Eminem would say. I have made myself a lovely drink of something very special to me, chamomile, which was handpicked in Scotland. Put that over here. Out of the way, but not too. So I have prepared the steek already, I think, fingers crossed. So I've decided to opt for the crochet stabilizer. So all I have done is crocheted single crochet all the way along the front twice. In theory, I should be able to snip between the two and we should have a cardigan. Yeah, so fingers crossed. Let's let's cut this cardigan up. I have my little Duckpool Lane notions pouch, which is, I'm not going to lie, filled to the brim, but it really is the pouch that keeps on giving. And I'm going to use my beautiful snips, which were gifted to me by Natalia, who also made me the gorgeous bag that everyone loves. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to try and be careful to not slice open the back as well. Or if I got the shakes, I'm hoping that the chamomile keeps me calm. Now I don't quite have the shakes, but here we go. Stabilised apparently, crocheted. Oh! It's so scary. Maybe I need to slow down. Right. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it seems to have been working, so I guess. Okay, this isn't actually. Okay, why did I get so nervous about it? I have slightly blocked it, not properly, I just gave it a light steam along the steek. I kind of hoped that before I put the crochet cast on in there, the crochet sort of protector, that by steaming it slightly, it would give me a nicer finish. I have my trusty kitten. You keeping a check on me? Will you tell me if I'm doing it wrong? And I also unintentionally am wearing my Chick Swancho, which is a Caitlin Hunter pattern, as well, in mostly the same yarn. So I'm wearing the Chick, which I quite heavily modified the sleeves for, in West Yorkshire Spinners Jacob, and the majority of this cardigan is actually, I say cardigan, it is now, it's a swardigan, so it's halfway there-ish. Actually, it might be because I've used such a good sticky, like, woolly wool, but once you get going, it's nowhere nearly as scary as I thought it would be. There we go. I have just turned a project that I've been knitting on for, I guess, like 7 or 8 months. Not monogamously, obviously, because I say obviously, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, then you wouldn't know, but I have been working on this since February this year. It is a gift. I've been quite unwell, so for parts of it, though it's not a tricky pattern, I still hadn't had the brain capacity to be doing so. Yeah, I will show you the inside. It is huge. It is one of my favourite things I think I've ever knitted, and it is now gone from a jumper, and so now it is just doing the ribbing. Yeah, I don't know if this will be within another video or if this will be on its own, so we'll see, but I hope you enjoyed seeing that. I know that Audrey seemed to enjoy being a part of it. So I steeped my first project, which in hindsight I probably should have tried it on something much smaller. That didn't take me quite so long. This is the longest project I have had on my needles, and it is finished. I'm so excited. So if you've been with me for a while, this project has been lovingly dubbed the Ramblin' Woman. And if not, this is a Caitlin Hunter pattern Ramblin' Woman that I cast on in February or March maybe. This is all knit out of West Yorkshire Spinners wool. It's a commercial brand that I absolutely love. It is UK based, it's local, as you can get. I love the yarn. So here she is. She is rather large and a rather feat, I believe. I will try. Step back. I have knitted a belt that matches, and I've given it a good old block and iron and steam, but it's going to need a little bit more going over. But this is the Croft base. I love it. Do a bit more of a close-up for you on the colours. So we've got the mid grey. This is Jacob. I think this light blue is Blue Face Leicester. The light grey is Jacob. We've got some more Croft in the green and the pale. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Let's move this out a little bit briefly. It is big. It's not for me, and she isn't that big, the person that it's going to. But I wanted to make sure it would fit, and it would fit nice and comfortably. It's a bit more of an outside garment, I guess. I really want to knit one of these for myself. I'm not sure that I'll get round to it this year or next year, but we'll see. I love the sleeves. It's just gorgeous. I'm really pleased. If you're in the market for a cardigan and a colourwork cardigan that's slightly longer, it's got a bit of a 70s feel, I really recommend it. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I haven't actually weighed it now, but I do believe that it is more than 1 kilo of yarn. So it was a lot of knitting either way. If you are new, it's not for sympathy or anything, but I was really rather sick last year. If I come back into focus. Find me. Hopefully. So I was quite sick last year. It took quite a lot of brain power to knit on that. I'm not quite sure why. The colourwork just seemed to play with my head. I did my best to get it done as quickly as I could. I wish I could have done it a lot quicker, but I'm really pleased with the outcome, and I'm really pleased that it is finally done and ready to be gifted. So I have 2 more finished objects, both of which I'm quite excited for. If your name is Charlotte Weaver, or you are my little sister, cover your peepers, please. Or just don't watch. No, I can't imagine you'd watch anyway, but bye. So I showed you last week, the week before, my work in progress on my Betty and Judy Lodge jumper by Amy APPEL, who does Poison Gum Knits, and I have finished it. I have given it a gentle block. I haven't blocked it very well, and I have also added the button to the back because it does have this lovely keyhole detail on the back. I really am pleased with this jumper. I have worn it already. We celebrated a sort of stir-up Sunday, which is where in my family we don't listen to the rules. We've probably done it a bit later than you should, and we've only made a Christmas pudding, and you stir the cake, everyone helps make it and makes a wish. So I love this. I'm really pleased with how it came out. I knitted this in Drops Alaska, which is a really affordable workhorse yarn. It is just wool. It makes me quite happy to be able to afford something that is a bit more sticky and a bit more rustic. Very much enjoy knitting this. It came out really quickly. I think I did it in 5 days from start to finish. Yeah, so because it was so quick, I decided that I would cast one on for my little sister. And I decided to do something a bit... Oh, come on, you. Coming in? Yes. Hi. Little Audrey's back. She has blue hair, so I decided to go with a blue one. I changed the colour work to something a little bit more cool, as in cooling, not like I've designed something really cool. I've given her the princess sleeves and done her little contrast. I love this colour. This was sort of blowing out a bit, but it's a very light blue. And the other contrast colour is just a medium grey. I wondered if I should have gone to something more drastic, but my sister's such a blue fan that I couldn't not. And also, so I knitted this entirely in Amsterdam, from start to finish, or at least on the journey in and out. And I even bought a little special button from Stephen and Penelope, which, if you don't know, is a rather famous, popular yarn shop in Amsterdam, run by the Stephen West. So I'm really pleased with this. It has been given a gentle block, it has had all the ends woven in, and yeah, drops Alaska again. So I've spent a bit of money on drops lately. Ignoring their patterns and ripping it off, this yarn is fantastic. I do really enjoy it, and I'm very pleased with the outcome. I might even knit another one in drops after the one that I'll show you now. I may as well skip along to that. Hello. You want to come up again? You are funny. You say you want to come up and then you won't. Will you? Oh. That's not very well timed, little lady. So let me show you this one. Ooh, it's in the back. So I have actually cast on another Bessie and Judy Lodge jumper. This time for my mother. Mum, if you watch it, stop. And I have changed the chart this time. I've kept the colours pretty much the same, and I have done two little trees. So what I would like to do, I have had these tiny little jingle bells for like 3 years. So I think I'm going to maybe even just with a tiny safety pins clip them on and add some sparkles, so maybe some tiny tinsel to zhuzh it up a little bit. Obviously I've not got I've got pretty far, I'm quite impressed, but I've not finished it yet. This is Knitting Drops Paris, which is their cotton base. Now I'm a bit concerned because I haven't used cotton before for a garment, and especially not a jumper, but my mum at the moment runs hot and cold. She's at that age, so I thought cotton might be quite nice as an option, because she does own Christmas jumpers. She has got, all of my family have got lovely ugly Christmas jumpers that I created for them. Go on then. Maybe 7-8 years ago now, that my dad still wears his every year a couple of times without fail. This is really strange, my hands look really big. They always look big. Anyway, yeah, so I'm quite pleased with how this is going. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm not sure if I should do the princess sleeves or not. So if anyone has a lot of experience knitting with cotton, please let me know. I'm concerned that they'll either go really poofy or they'll just sort of drape too much. But I love this pattern. I do recommend it if you're in the market for a Christmas jumper or just a jumper that's quite nicely fitted and shaped. This is beautiful, and actually in the future I can imagine myself knitting just a plain grey or black one that is just all black, no colour work, that I can wear every single day pretty much. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Speaking of what wearing every day, today I'm wearing my SOIREE. I love the detailing up the sides. This is a pattern by Emily Foden. I knitted it a lot smaller on a smaller gauge, smaller needles, the smallest size, so it fits me very, very well. I love the shape and the fit of it. I will eventually get back to making my second version, which will be hopefully a lot more oversized. else have we got? So another one that you've seen before. I haven't done millions of miles on this. This is going to be a slower project. I won't talk about it too much more. I am working on a texture time shawl by Stephen West. This is, oh, let's go this way. The middle section so far. I've completed section 2 now, so these wiggly lines down the edge. And I'm not far off, really not very far off, completing the first major wing with squiggles on this side. So it is already becoming quite a big piece. I am working in Qing fibre. I've got, and a mix actually. A couple of these are just stash ones that I had. The teal and the black and the white. Then we've got this multicoloured green that's the same as the SOIREE, is I think it's chrysalis. Can't remember, it was a club colourway. And the purple that you see in here is atmosphere, which is a new colour. I work for Qing fibre just for full disclosure, so I use it quite a bit. I love this project so far. I'm actually really excited to wear it. The studio gets really, really cold in the winter. I have a hot water bottle on the go already. So this, I'm seeing if I can get it done, will be really, really good. I mean, it would be amazing after Christmas too. It stays cold here until the beginning of April, realistically, doesn't it? So I'll have time to wear it, even if it takes me another few months to finish it up. Yeah, really pleased with how this is coming along though. And I will say, if you haven't knit a Stephen West pattern, I'm not telling you everyone should, but actually this one, it looks quite, don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's actually rather simple and they're quite repetitive and meditative, so you're concentrating but you don't have to be staring at charts or anything at all. So it's almost like a moving meditation, only it's not entirely mindless and it's not entirely mindful, if that makes sense. It's quite a nice balance between taking you away from everything while keeping you present. I think that's what I was trying to explain. So I would recommend it, and it is living in one of my fun little mohair no problem bags that I designed just because I love it. Anyway. And oh, my mum's one is living in my favourite project bag. This bag, as you can see, it needs a wash, but it is my favourite. This has been to every country that I've been to since I got it. It has been to work with me most days, and Natalia, who's Nat Knit Crafts on Instagram, I'll get it wrong, my brain is not with it, I should write notes, is going to be selling them very soon, which is super exciting. I think I'm really talking today, which is surprising. I don't have that much left, but I'm just going to hit, I only get 20 minutes to talk, which is probably a good thing. It's so good. I am proud. And then, oh, I'll show you quickly this is also living in my mohair no problems bag. This was a fun little thing that I started. It's gone wrong. It was just because I was gonna knit this as a gift. It's still on a cable, but it's coming off the cable. Maybe I'll look live on camera. Yeah, I needed one of these cables. So I'm gonna knit it again. As you can see, it was meant to be a hat, but I mean, I could have just turned it into a cow. So this is some yarn that's ecru. This is totally plain, but also yarn that I dyed myself. I'll bring it closer. I was really pleased when I dyed this up. This was completely natural dye, so it is a combination of tea and turmeric, and what I would say is, done it. Maybe I should actually send this to you. If you don't know Caroline, I'd be surprised. Everyone knows who she is. I feel like maybe she should have this. But anyway, so I was working on this little hat and it has to come out. It's just too big. But it will knit up as something. But now we've hit sort of Christmas knitting, which is really exciting, and I am also doing another test knit. This is just going to be ripped back and then popped in a bag for protection and languish for a while until I reset my brain and come back to it. And I must apologise, my hair is, I don't know why I let them cut it. I was so close to, well, I was tucking it behind my ears with no problem, and now it's way too long to be a fringe. And curtains just keep popping back because it's been freshly washed. Anyway, and one final thing. I am doing a test knit, which, bless her, Audrey is amazing. She's never really, since she's grown out of being a full kitten, since a kitten, she's not really that fussed about knitting or my knitting works, which is really nice. However, I recently cast on for this test knit and she had a great old time with it, let's just say that. So I had to cast it on again. So I'm a little bit behind where I'd like to be, but it is coming together. It's too good, sorry. This is a Duckpool Lane bag. I love this bag too. It's lasted. It looks pretty new still actually. It's holding up beautifully. And it fits quite a good amount in. So I'm doing the, I don't want to say it wrong, Campfire cardigan, which is, yeah, by the Campfire cardigan, which is a pattern by Unwind. I don't want to actually show the pattern just because I'm liable to give things away and I don't want to. And it is going to be a piece that I wear quite a bit, I think. Initially I was unsure because it's a colourwork cardigan and I have gone for my usual workhorse, which is Jacob in the light grey, Jacob in the mid grey, and then Jacob in the brown black. And initially I was quite concerned because, well, not concerned, I thought these two contrast beautifully. However, in certain lights these two don't, and I was a little bit worried that because the colourwork's quite fine, it would completely get lost. However, last night I got a little bit carried away. I did quite a bit of this yesterday evening. I mean, like, not half of it, but, you know, a good little chunk. And it's safe to say the colourwork's fine. There's no issues with here at all. I'm really loving how this is knitting up. It is a little bit difficult to show you on the needles, but as you can see, it is knit from, this is the armhole, and I'm knitting inwards towards the centre, so the colourwork sits horizontally instead of vertically, which is really fun. And it does have a steek. Ooh. So I'm really excited by this actually. It's not a very long test knit, so I do hope to get it finished quite quickly, which would just be, not because I'm trying to rush through projects, but because I would love to have this done so I can focus again on knitting for my parents, maybe Dad, if I can find the right pattern, but continue making gift knits. And I do also have quite a bit of work knitting to be done. I have done quite a bit of work knitting, which unfortunately I can't share, but I will eventually, I promise. Yeah, I think that's about it, which is quite good. stop touching my hair and go and have myself a cold drink and stop waffling on, but I will leave you with some footage from Brogdale. We went to Brogdale a couple of weeks ago now, maybe even 3, so it has been a while since I've done a full episode like this. I have some more footage from Amsterdam, my trip. I went to 3 yarn shops, and also from Make Joy, which was Sunday, which was a lovely event in London. But I'm going to just pop Brogdale at the end of this one, just because otherwise it might be too much, and I would like to spend a little time putting the video together. And I don't have all that much time today, but I really, really wanted to connect with people and share what I've been up to and find out what you've been up to. So, yeah. Brogdale, if you don't know, is run as sort of a charity, sort of privately owned. It's paid for land. In a nutshell, it is amazing fruit producers, I guess. They are... Sorry, my phone's doing something crazy. So there's 200... Start again. There's 2,200 varieties of apple alone. It's quite amazing. It was a beautiful place. We had a nice old chat and a talk by a gentleman called Mike, who was amazing to listen to. He really knew the ins and outs of the projects. And yeah, so I will leave you with that. I hope you are having a lovely autumn-winter transitional period. If you celebrated Halloween or anything around that time, I hope you had a lovely time. In the meantime, do share what you're working on. Do keep in touch. It's been really lovely once again chatting on Ravelry and discussing projects. If there's anything I can help you with and anything you can suggest for me, especially for the cotton project, it would be lovely to hear from you. I hope you have a lovely week. I hope to be back next week with a similar podcast set up, but for Amsterdam and Brogdale, and what I've Amsterdam and Make Joy, and anything else that I've managed to knit up on. So there might not be all that much next week. It might be a nice short episode, which is quite good at this time of year when we're all starting to ramp up, getting a little bit busier. So have a lovely week, and I will hopefully speak to you very soon. Take care of yourselves. We are just on an adventure to Brogdale. We're off to see lots and lots of apples and pears. I am working on my texture tie, which looks quite chaotic, and Alex is just pumping up our tyres again because we have a slow puncture. Yeah, sit back and maybe grab a coffee if you want. I've got my one here. This is in my new cup that I can't stop using. It's by Corsicle, I call it, and it keeps stuff warm for like 3 hours or cold for 12. And being someone that is constantly knitting or working, it means that my coffee's no longer going cold, which is awesome, and it's a little bit less fragile than my ceramic one.
site of around about 160 acres, 60 hectares in today's money. Some of the material from Wisley repropagated onto this site. It was a mixed arable farm. About 1950, when that all happened, Brogdale developed as an experimental station, horticultural experimental station, employed quite a lot of people. And if we fast forward through to the period around about 1990, 1990 saw Imperial College London University as the science curators here, working in conjunction with the Horticultural Trust at Faversham. That marriage lasted for about 10 years, until circa 2000. 2000, well, the collections came under a lot of stress and strain, politically, publicly, and there was a great deal of discussion as to what the future of the collections would be. Fortunately, it stabilised, and in 2007 the Ministry went out to renew the science agreement, and that was won by the School of Horticulture and Biological Sciences at Reading. Reading University are the science curators here. Principally, of course, going to be looking at apples today, because we're nearly in November, well, a week or so away from it. So let's be a little bit more specific. Some of you will have heard of apple varieties. Let's just take a few. Lord Lambourne, Ellison's Orange, Darcy Spice, Cornish Aromatic, Norfolk Royal Russet. There's a few to start with. But most of you would certainly be familiar, I would suggest, with Gala.
Gorgeous video.
It's the thing about Northerners, like onions, got many layers.
darling.
Happy birthday to you. Happy anniversary.
Ah, bon
How many years is it now?
31.
So as he comes down, the shoes hit the bottom of the escalator.